Hey there, news seekers! Welcome back to USCN News. Today, we're diving deep into the latest presidential debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and addressing the growing concerns about Biden's health and suitability for a second term as President of the United States.
Eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
The debate on June 27th was nothing short of a roller coaster. Biden and Trump went head-to-head, and let me tell you, it felt more like a battle between two golf buddies arguing over their handicaps than a presidential debate at times.
I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie, that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
21
Let's not act like children.
Let's get serious for a moment. One of the big topics on everyone's mind is Joe Biden's health. At 81, Biden's age and the fitness for office are under intense scrutiny. This was front and center during the debate, with a CNN reporter asking Biden point-blank about his capability to handle the toughest job well into his 80s. Biden responded with confidence, but let's be honest, his track record has been a bit shaky, literally. Remember the bike incident in Delaware? Or the stumble at the fallen officers' memorial ceremony? And the Air Force Academy graduation ceremony? And who could forget the times he's had difficulty with the stairs of Air Force One? It seems that stairs in general have given him a few memorable moments, especially the ones on Air Force One. Well, at least we can say that the bike incident was somewhat understandable. His foot got caught in the toe cage of one of the pedals, a situation that could happen to anyone. Beyond the physical stumbles, there are growing concerns about Biden's cognitive health. Unlike his predecessor Donald Trump,
I was willing to take a cognitive test, and you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions, he couldn't do it.
Biden did not undergo a cognitive test during his annual physical exam. This detail was highlighted by CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta. In a conversation with journalist Anderson Cooper, Gupta confirmed that the president did not take any cognitive tests to measure his mental state. This has sparked a wave of discussions and worries among both political opponents and concerned citizens. During the interview, Cooper asked if Biden had taken any exam to measure his mental acuity, especially given the focus on his cognitive abilities. Dr. Gupta responded, "It doesn't seem like it." He noted that while Biden's doctor performed a neurological exam, it primarily assessed motor strength and sensation rather than cognitive function. This omission stands in contrast to Trump, who famously took the Montreal Cognitive Assessment at age 72 and scored a perfect 30 out of 30. The lack of a similar test for Biden has left some questioning the thoroughness of his health evaluation. These concerns aren't just isolated opinions. A recent Politico Morning Consult poll revealed that 48% of Americans are worried about Biden's cognitive capabilities. Conducted between November 13th and November 15th, the poll surveyed nearly 2,000 registered voters and found that nearly half of them were uneasy about the president's mental acuity. Despite the absence of a cognitive test, Dr. Gupta emphasized that Biden's overall health was deemed fit for duty by his physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor. The president's physical exam report detailed minor health issues common for his age, such as atrial fibrillation, gastric reflux, and a stiffened gait from past orthopedic injuries. Nevertheless, the debate over Biden's mental fitness remains a contentious topic, especially among his political adversaries, some of whom have mockingly dubbed him Dementia Joe. In the presidential debate, Biden showed signs of having trouble coming up with the correct words for his speech, but he later on did his best to brush off these concerns, even attributing some of his lapses to not getting enough sleep and feeling terrible after such a busy month. To get a more detailed view, we have a segment from ABC News where George Stephanopoulos grilled Biden about his debate performance and health concerns. Let's take a look. George Stephanopoulos said, "Let's go over the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night, but your friend, Nancy Pelosi, actually framed the question I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?" Joe Biden replied, "It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night." George Stephanopoulos, you say you were exhausted, and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time? Joe Biden, because I was sick, was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the doctor's with me. I asked if they did a COVID test, trying to figure out what was wrong. He did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. He just said a really bad cold.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, what I want to get at is, what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look, the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine. Nobody's fault but mine. I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now, or whatever the hell it is. I couldn't, the way the debate ran, not my fault, nobody else's fault. No one else's fault.
But it seemed like you were having trouble from the first question in, even before he spoke.
Well, I just had a bad night.
Biden's explanation certainly adds some context, but it doesn't completely erase the concerns. Critics argue that his age and health make him unfit for another term, while his supporters believe he's still got what it takes. The debate performance and his subsequent explanations haven't done much to quell the worries. On the other hand, some people say that Trump did pretty well in the presidential debate. He never let his guard down. He listened to Biden, and he definitely didn't pull any punches. Recent news claim he has challenged Biden to another debate, clearly sensing an opportunity. And while we're on the topic of challenges, let's not forget the heated exchange over who has the better golf game. Honestly, at this point, they might as well settle it on the green.
You have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
So what do you think? Is Biden fit to continue leading the country? Or is it time for him to hang up his golf clubs and retire? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, folks, keep it classy and keep it informed. This is Mike, signing off.